Yes. While the Mova Mobius 60 is hunting ghosts, I'm going to tell you how it did on the pick up and stay removal test. Last time I put the Mova Mobius 60 through my obstacle course and honestly, it did really well. Calm, careful and predictable. No drama at all. This is one of the very few robots I have tested that I would actually call a set and forget machine. So today, I want to know if that carefulness holds up when the job gets messy. This is the pick up and stain removal test. Rice, popcorn kernels, real hair, 3 different carpets and stains I deliberately made harder than usual. And I will be straight with you. This one is not a clean sweep. There is one part of this test where the Mova genuinely let me down. There is also one number on the spec sheet that ended up explaining almost everything you were about to see, the good bits and the bad bits. So keep one word in the back of your mind while you watch this video. That word is pressure. A quick run through the numbers because a few of them matter more than usual today. 30,000 pascals of suction, Stepmaster legs that physically lift the chassis to climb up to 8 centimeters, and the same dual brush you can find on the Dreame X50 Ultra Complete. So 2 counter-rotating brushes that prevent hair from tangling. A small footnote on that 8 centimeters, because I like reading the fine print, that figure is for 2 steps stacked together, like a door step with a threshold on top of it. For one single vertical step, it is 5 centimeters. Still excellent, just not quite the number on the box. And then the part I usually rush past, and I really should not, the mopping hardware. 2 round pads spinning 260 rotations per minute pressed into the floor with 12 newtons of downwards pressure. The number matters more than people realize. Most machines in this class sit somewhere about 8 to 10 newtons. 12 is right at the top end of what you can currently buy. And the pads are not just bolted either. The holder floats. It moves 2 millimeters up and 2 millimeters down, and it tilts up to 5 degrees. So the pad keeps proper contact with the floor if it's not perfectly flat. On top of that, it's got an extending mop pad. And then the headline feature of this device, the MopSwap feature. Instead of 1 pair of mop pads, the dock holds 3 pairs and the robot drives back mid-clean to swap them depending on the floor type. The red ones are the thermal pads. A phase change material soaks up the heat during the hot water wash and releases it while mopping, so the pad stays warm longer. That is the one aimed at grease and dried stains. The yellow one are the Plush pads. Ultra soft and absorbent, made for wood and delicate floors with less water left behind. And the blue ones are the HyperClean pads. Composite fiber, the all-rounder for everyday cleaning. One less spec, and please hang on to this one because it comes back a little later when the robot detects a carpet, the baffle drops down underneath and it forms a semi-sealed pocket. So more of that suction gets pulled through the fibers instead of leaking out on the sides. On paper, this machine is built for carpets. That is the paperwork. Now let us go and make a mess. On hard floors, this thing is very good. Whatever I put down, it picked up and the floor felt clean afterwards. Every single time. And I want to underline every single time because consistency is what separates good robots from bad robots. I have tested machines that leave a fine layer of dust behind that you will notice barefoot. This one never gave me that feeling. That barefoot test is not scientific and I know it, but it is the test that actually matters in the household. Because this test is a test you run every single evening without meaning to. Corner coverage is reasonably good. It gets most of the rice out, but a little stays behind right in the corner and along the wall. To be fair, that is not a Mova problem, that is a problem that all the high-end models from 2025 have. What I want to know is whether the newer generation moves that needle, the X60 or the V70, and I hope I can test them in this corner soon. The doormat, no complaints at all. It pulls most of the dirt straight out of the mat. This is the part I found most interesting. If you watch my X50 videos, you already know why. The Mova has essentially the same dual brush system as the Dreame X50 Ultra Complete. Same idea, same hardware, but where the X50 kept scattering things across the floor and shoving debris around instead of eating it, the Mova just picked it up. The hair, the rice, the popcorn kernels, all of it in its first pass. And the hair deserves its own moment, because nothing got tangled up. So the same type of hardware, but different results. And then let's look at the thin rug. It does go up on it, which already puts it ahead of some budget and mid-range devices. The Dreame L10S Pro Gen 3 or the Roborock Q10S5 would not even climb on this rug, but I expected more. It costed Mova real effort to get up there, and it bunches the rug up a little. But eventually it got the job done. But I expected more. And then the high-power carpet. And this is where it all fell apart. The first thing I've noticed was this driving pattern. Not the neat lines I am used to from this machine. Just odd little detours and gaps, so I opened the app and I found out why. And there it was. It had flagged individual hairs of the carpet itself as obstacles. Actual carpet fibers. And it was carefully steering around them. So I told the device to ignore those obstacles, which the app lets you do, and send it back out. And it flagged a completely different set of carpet hairs again. Same story. I did that 3 times, and after the 3rd attempt, I gave up. It never cleaned the whole carpet. And here is the part that really stinks. Remember that baffle? The one that drops down and seals the suction into the pile? The hardware for this exact job is sitting right there underneath the machine, ready to go. 30,000 pascals of suction and a pressure seal built specifically for deep carpet. It never got to use a single bit of it, because the software would not let it drive over the thing it was designed to clean. Now you might be thinking, just switch the AI detection off. You can, but that is exactly the trade-off. The same cautious detection is what made this robot such a good set and forget machine. Turn it off and you'll throw away the best part of this device. So to be fair to Mova, this is not a weak robot. This robot is just too polite and too cautious. And that is a firmware problem, not a hardware problem. Somebody at Mova could fix it with an update that treats a mapped carpet zone differently from a mapped floor. I would genuinely love to come back in 6 months and tell you that they fixed it with an update. But I have to review the machine that is in my house today, not the one in the changelog. So let me be clear, and as always, this is scoped to my house and my carpet. If your home has high-power carpets, the Mova Mobius 60 does not cope with it well. I would rather tell you now than have you to find out after you bought it. And the strange part is that the one machine that is actually performed well on that exact same carpet is the Dreame L50 Ultra AE, a mid-range device with less fancy hardware. Right, mopping. This is where the Mova comes back swinging. The water distribution is really good. Even, consistent, no puddles, no dry patches, no streaks. It lays the water down properly, and that is half of the battle with mopping. The other half is pressure. And this is where those 12 newtons stop from being a line on the spec sheet and start being something you can actually see on your floor. Let me put it down in human terms, because newtons mean nothing to most of us. 12 newtons is roughly the same as 1.22 kilograms pushing down on the floor through the mop pads. And the mop pads are turning at 260 rotations per minute, which is more than 4 full rotations every second. So a dried stain is not being wiped here, it is being scrubbed repeatedly by something that is actively leaning on it. That is the whole difference between a robot that mops and a robot that cleans. Suction gets you the loose stuff. Pressure gets you the stuff that is sticky and stuck on the floor. And plenty of machines that look brilliant on the spec sheet quietly skimp over that same number, because nobody walks into a shop and asks how many newtons it does. For the stains, I made life harder than usual. I smeared them out more and let them dry longer, because I wanted to see what this thing does when the easy version of the job is off the table. I set the water level to maximum and picked the red thermal pads on purpose. Full transparency, I could not feel any difference in warmth between the 3 pads, but my reasoning was simple. If that phase change material does something at all, this is the job it was built for. The theory is that the dog washes the mop pads in properly hot water. The material inside banks some of that heat and gives it back while the mop pads are on the floor. Warm water against grease is a real thing, ask any kitchen sink. Whether a pad can hold enough heat for long enough to matter across the whole room, I cannot tell you. I could not feel it. First attempt, CleanGenius on and large particle boost on. That did not work. It cleaned the stain maybe halfway and moved on like the job was done. Then I sent it back in mopping only, and that is where it showed me what it can really do. The stains came off properly. 3 passes and they were gone. 3 passes on a stain I deliberately over-dried is a strong result, and without spoiling too much, that is fewer passes than some other flagships I've tested. So the scrubbing power is absolutely there. What let it down the first time was not the hardware. It was the software deciding on my behalf how much attention that spot deserved. And that is the red thread running through this whole video. This machine has the pressure, it has the suction, it has the seal on carpet. What it does not always have is confidence to use any of it. The base station and the mop washing are solid. The mop pads come out clean and stay usable after a run. It washes with genuinely hot water and dries them with warm air. And that combination is what stops your ducks smelling like a gym bag. You still will not escape throwing them in the washing machine every couple of weeks. That is the reality with all of these machines. And a quick word on the MopSwap itself, because it is the reason this duck is the size of a small suitcase. Watching it work is genuinely satisfying. It drives in, drops off a pair of mop pads, picks up another pair of mop pads and heads back out. It does cost you a bit of time on a mixed floor run because every swap means a trip back to the dock and extra mop washing. In a house with one single floor type, it is not really doing anything for you. In a house with a tiled kitchen, a wooded living room and a bathroom, it starts to earn its keep. So, mixed results this time, and I am not going to pretend otherwise. The good, excellent pickup on hard floors, a floor that genuinely feels clean, reasonably in corners for its class, a duo brush that does what the X50 Ultra Complete could not do with the same hardware, great water distribution, and 12 newtons of real scrubbing pressure with the stain results to back it up. The not so good, it bunched up the thin rug. A high-power carpet is a real weakness, not because it lacks power, but because its own obstacle detection gets in its own way. And notice that neither of those complaints is about the hardware. That is the frustrating part and the hopeful part at the same time. Everything I have criticized here could in theory be tuned with a software update. Nothing I've criticized needs a new robot. Would I still recommend it? Yes. This machine is a trust to run on its own. And after everything I went through with the X50, that is worth a lot to me. But with one clear condition. If your house has a high-power carpet, look elsewhere. For everybody else, the Mova Mobius 60 is a device I am comfortably recommending. Next up, I'll be performing the same test on a DJI Romo P, and I'll be putting out the full review of the Mova Mobius 60 and DJI Romo P, and I will also be putting them head to head. Two machines with very different personalities. If you want to see the outcome, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like this video. And a big thank you as always to my friends at Robostofzuigers.nl who have backed this channel from the beginning. If you are in the Netherlands or Belgium, check their website through the link in the description. And if you want to pick up the Mova Mobius 60, I got an Amazon affiliate link in the description as well. The product won't cost you more, but I earn a little commission that I can reinvest in the channel. Thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next one. Peace out.
Wow!